So over the last few days, something has happened in the Kyle Appleford story that a lot of followers didn't expect. And the online feedback has been rather intense, to say the least. Now, if you've been following along, you already know what I'm talking about and why there's been such intense comments from loyal subscribers about the issue. So today, let's just take a couple minutes to walk through what happened with Kyle Appleford and his story, and why have the reactions been so drastic, kind of both on both sides. And I'd like to know from you where you come in and how you feel about this very polarizing decision that he's made recently. Going back to the division from the internet in relation to Kyle Appleford's recent announcement that we'll be discussing in a minute, I did want to say that there was one comment in particular that I'll be going over later in the video that really kind of shocked me, and I'm wondering how you also will feel about that, so stay tuned. So we will go over that comment. Now, as today is International Women's Day, or rather tomorrow will be, I think it's appropriate that we just take a few moments to acknowledge what a wonderful, courageous, strong, and resilient woman and mother that Jenny Appleford was. And, it was truly touching for me as a viewer to watch her continue to fight her hard, strong, long, and difficult lung cancer journey. And it just it inspired me, and I know that it inspired so many viewers, and likely you. And I just want to acknowledge her on this International Women's Day as well. So Jenny Appleford created a YouTube channel a decade ago, 10 years ago, and it really did become a beacon of honesty and courage and love for her family and thousands of followers. Her content was a candid portrayal of her journey living with lung cancer, and it did showcase that the disease does not discriminate. It affects those who have never smoked and never picked up a cigarette. By sharing her experiences, she really did provide comfort and solidarity to countless others facing similar challenges as she was. Jenny's devotion to her children was a central theme in her videos. You can see video after video, how much she loved her kids and how inspiring, that ended up becoming for her subscribers who would comment and give so much positive feedback and who really did form a bond with her. Her journey was one of resilience and love, and even during extremely difficult moments, she faced her trials with grace and kindness. The impact that she's had on her viewers' lives, particularly on her children and family, was profound and especially enduring. Jenny Appleford died of non-smoker's lung cancer on November 5th, 2023, at the young age of 36. If you followed along with Jenny's journey, you knew how invested her community of followers were in her life. They cared about her appointments. They cared about her diagnosis and her progression of her cancer. They cared about her children. They cared about Kyle. They cared about her family. They cared about what she cared about. And so there was much grief and much mourning that took place after Jenny died. And understandably, she had, like I said, a very strong knit community on YouTube that she had worked from the ground up to build. And this is where the story starts to get a little complicated. After about 2 years, Q and Kyle, who, after 2 years of grieving online and documenting how sad he is and how he can't move on, and just the normal struggles, with losing a spouse who you've built your life with, the mother of your children. So he's documenting that for a long time, and then Kyle kind of drops the bomb on everyone. You dropped the bomb on me, baby. No, but he drops the bomb and says that he is suddenly engaged. He's changed. He's engaged to a wonderful, 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 lovely woman who's just perfect and wonderful. Those are his words, not mine. And yes, and the next thing we know, videos of his proposal are coming up. it all just moved very, very quickly, and a lot of supporters were just completely shocked at how quick it did move, and that he was putting this on Jenny's page because, they had connected with her, and it just felt for many people to be very insulting and like an erase of her memory and dignity to have his new relationship up. And other people supported his moving on. Jenny had mentioned in one of her videos that we shouldn't be mad at him when he moves on, and so there is some support for what he's been doing, but most of it has been negative, as you'll see here in these comments. A lot of people are angry primarily, I would say, because that he records his new relationship on his YouTube, that Jenny had created and worked so hard for, and those are her followers. And so for him, showcasing his new relationship, his marriage, everything that he does for her, trips, flowers, etc., it just feels very disrespectful to a lot of followers who have been there for Jenny and the children and their family through the many years, and have even supported financially through GoFundMe's and views. And so this firestorm kind of starts to brew in the comments between people who support Kyle's right to move on, between people who do support his right to move on but to not post it on Jenny's page, that she documented her cancer journey with, and her family journey, and her children, and her interests, etc. And there's just a lot of people have felt sidelined by it all, by how quick it's happened. There's just been a lot of opinions on it. If you want to just take a minute to let me know in the comments how you feel, whether you support it, whether you're disgusted by it, whether it's shocking to you, just however you feel, just let me know in the comments. Let's see how we feel. So I think where it becomes especially bad in the last couple weeks is when Kyle essentially makes an announcement that, hey, look, I'm going to still post on this. If y'all have a problem with it, basically, I'm sorry. If you've been a follower for this whole time, if you've cared about Jenny, if you cared about me, my family, my kids, and the cancer journey and all her inspirational things, but you know what? If you don't agree with me now, sorry, essentially. And, he's been accused of deleting hundreds of negative comments, in the comments that haven't been favorable to him. He has been very dismissive. He's been called arrogant, narcissistic, you name it. Just not caring about his followers. And he's really made a lot of people mad. And so, yeah, he just continues to push down and double down and say, I'm going to continue to post my new relationship on this page, whether you guys like it or not. And so that's where we're at with that. And so I suspect that he will likely continue to post on the channel. My idea, it's just my personal opinion, is that he wants to continue to monetize in the most effective manner, and that's by using Jenny's followers on something they clearly don't want to see. And so he has lost a lot of subscribers. I think he's lost more than like 1,500 or so in the last month or so. I'm probably more than that. I need to look into that. But yeah, so that's where we're at, and the saga continues. And I will be posting regularly on this just because I think it's wrong personally. And I think it's hurtful to her memory, to her honor, to her children, her family, to her legacy. And yeah, so follow for more videos because I'll be making them probably a couple times a week. Sorry, Kyle.